Hey everyone, so it's Amanda here showing you how to do some really basic nail designs. This is going to be our first post, so I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to be making a simple pattern where we're going to give a French tip with a black accenting line with a bow. Um, I'm going to be using this thin brushed Art Deco LA color. Um, you can get it just about anywhere. I got it at the drugstore. But I know you can also get it at nail specialty stores as well as other things. And I'm also going to be using Nail-In. It's just from a French tip kit that I got at Walmart. It cost me about $5. You can really get this stuff anywhere. Um, if you are afraid to do French tips for the first time, a tip I can give you guys about getting that straight line is if you don't want to use the thin brush technique like this, just take a piece of tape and place it across here in line with your white nail here on the tip, and then just brush over and then let it dry and then remove the tape and you'll get that straight line. So for starters, we're just going to do a base coat like so. And I just chose a neutral color just to keep everything pretty natural looking but still have an evener tone nail than you usually would have. It's just a personal preference. You can really do it with any color. I just decided that natural would look best for this. So you just want to take your time with this. Don't rush it too much. I'm rushing it a little bit right now just to show you guys. But just take your time, try and make it even. If it looks like it's too thin of a layer, let it dry before you do a second coat, or else the nails will smudge, and it takes a longer dry time when you do that. Another downfall if you don't let it dry in between your sessions of doing your two coats is if you go to bed and you're doing your nails before bed, you'll get those wrinkle sheet lines in it, so definitely let it dry. A tip though, if you want to get your nails to dry faster, just take some hairspray and spray it lightly onto your nails. It'll help it dry a little faster. So we're just going to let these dry and we'll be right back. Okay, so I think the nails are now dry enough that we should be able to do the tips. So I'm going to be using, like I said, this nice icingy bright sky blue. So what I was talking about earlier with the long brush is if you look at the brush on this, it's really long, it's really thin, and it's really good for doing fine details, and because it's so long you can do straighter lines. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the edge of your nail like that. Sorry. And you're just going to lightly brush it on. Try and get your tip first. And just see how I'm going with the natural nail tip underneath. Now as you can see, that's not a very thick tip, but it doesn't look too bad. So now what you're going to do, now that you've got it filled out all the way down to your natural tip shape, is you're just going to bring it down a little bit more. And you're just going to do it one line and one half of the nail at a time. And this will help you stay in control of what you're doing. And try and keep it even. And by even I mean like try to avoid this lumpy brush feel, so try and keep an even amount of nail polish on your brush as you're doing this, just to create a better look. So that would be one nail. So And see, my nails are fairly long, so they don't need too much of that extending down like we were talking about. But you do it according to how each nail is. So it's completely up to you how far you want to go down. It's your preference. And don't worry about it too much if you get some of the nail polish on your skin. Worry about that when you're done the rest of the nail. There's no point in trying to get it off now. Be aware when you're doing this that you're going all the way as close as you can to where the nail touches the skin, else you'll have this awkward gap there, nail, and it looks kind of funny. And like I said with the previous ones, when we did that first layer, let it dry. You're going to do the same for this one. If you try and jump in too soon, you could smear the color. It gums up your other brushes and mixes the colors. And it just makes an overall mess, so don't do it. Let it dry. And there you go. Okay, so the last step of this is to do the line and the bow. So I'm going to be using a black nail polish for that, and it's going to have that thin brush in it as well. Don't forget to shake it up. So for this one, make sure that if you're using one of the nail polishes like this thin brush, make sure that you're taking off some of the excess nail polish, or else it'll start running down. And this, unlike other nail polish brushes like the normal ones, it runs really fast. So and so it's harder to control. So try and have about this much on there. It's just easier for you to control them. You can do straighter lines. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start at the base of the tip we've created. You're just going to trace that tip and do this nice and slow. And if you find the brush is like starting to move up or something, that's okay, let it go, and then just continue from where it let go. And as you see, that's still a fairly light line. So we want to make that a little darker, so don't be afraid to add a little more paint to your brush and try it again. It's all about building up, taking things slow, and playing it safe. And if you mess up, don't be afraid to erase your nail polish and do it again. It's not a big deal. So there's that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a line like this. I've decided to do mine on the right side of the nail. So I'm doing the line like that. And a line like that. And that's going to be the bottom of our bow. Now, if you've got a really light hand, you could do just a loop like this to do the top of the bow. I do not, so I'm going to be doing a couple just little light dots so I can get the shape of it. And then I'm going to go over it afterwards because it just gives me something to see what I'm doing. But that's completely up to you. I just know I'm not too steady when I do this. And there you go. You have a nail with a bow. So feel free to go ahead and do the rest of your nails. It's pretty simple. And like I said, just take it slow, take your time. Alright, so here we are at the end of our first blog post, and here is the result. And I don't mind them at all. I think they're pretty sexy. I'm going to keep those on. So some final tips. I'm not going to show you how to do it in the clip, but it's pretty basic. make sure that you put a clear coat on over top of your nail polish. Make sure that you let the tips dry first though, especially the black, because if you go to put your clear coat on and you still have that black there, it's going to smear up into your color here and it's not going to look good at all and you'll have to redo it. So give it about 10 minutes to dry, or do that hairspray technique I told you. Another trick, if you don't want to rub or spray hairspray all over your nails, just stick your hand under some cold running water from your tap and it'll let it solidify just a little faster. It'll still be wet, but it'll make it so it's not as soft. Other than that, that's it for our first tutorial. If you have any questions or you want to show me some of the images that you did, just give it a post or message me. There should be another nail tutorial coming up in the next few weeks. I haven't decided what yet though. It'll either be how to make your nails grow long, which as you can see mine grow pretty long, or it's going to be how to do typography on your nails using newspaper. It's pretty cool stuff, so you should check it out. See you next time.